Hello, I'm Aaron Marino from Alpha M Image Consulting, and today we're talking about... Dude. Do you smell that? Bro, come a little closer. Let me... Oh my god, dude, it's you! Did you eat a shit burger for breakfast? Your breath is funky! Well, I had something else planned for today's video, but given the current state of affairs of your mouth, I feel that it is only appropriate for us today to talk about supercalifragilisticexpialitosis. Halitosis, bad breath. We are doing today a solid for all of the people that come in contact with you today. We're going to talk about bad breath, where it comes from, how to identify it, and how you fix it. Bad breath. I've had it. You've had it. Zanetta's had it. Oh, hell no. Zanetta's breath don't stink. If anything, it smells like Raoul's dick. Get back to the trailer park, you ugly slut. Bad breath. What causes it? Now, generally speaking, bad breath happens for two reasons. One, poor oral hygiene, and two, the foods that we eat. When you eat something, it gets digested and ultimately absorbed into your bloodstream. This blood then gets circulated all over your body and eventually gets to your lungs. So this is why when you eat onions or garlic, you smell that pungent or that offending odor. It's in your lungs. Now, you can chew gum or use mouthwash, but really it's just masking the odor. Eventually that blood will circulate and ultimately leave the body. The blood doesn't leave, but that odor and that absorbed nutrient does leave your body, and your breath will return to its normal fresh scent. This type of bad breath happens to all of us from time to time. Now, if your breath is consistently pretty bad or pretty funky, the chances are you need to work on your oral hygiene. Your mouth is full of crevices, cracks, nooks, and crannies where food particles after you eat can hang out. It's also a great place for bacteria to set up shop. You combine the two, bits of food, bacteria, you get decaying matter, and this produces a very foul odor. If you combine the bacteria with the food with you not flossing and brushing your teeth regularly, you ultimately will start to develop extra plaque around your gum line, forming around the tooth. If you get too much plaque around your gums for too long, you will develop some type of periodontal or gum disease, like gingivitis, and that definitely produces a foul odor. Another culprit to your stinky breath could be the fact that your mouth is dry. Remember, a dry mouth is a stinky mouth. That's right. Saliva actually lubricates and helps wash out odor-causing bacteria. Okay, so we know what causes bad breath. Now, how do we know if we have bad breath? Now, let's be honest. I don't need some special test to know in the morning when I wake up that my breath smells like ass. I mean, you can taste it. And I can think back to very few times that somebody's come up to me and been like, Aaron, yo, brother, killing me? Your breath is stinky. I'm like, yeah, I know, I can taste it. You can taste it. You can just tell that your breath isn't exactly fresh. But on occasion, there are times where you might not be sure and you want to make sure that it is smelling good. And there are a few tests that you can do to check. The first test, and most commonly used test, is the hand test. So basically, you cup your two hands in front of your mouth and your nose, and you breathe. And you quick breathe and try and smell in. Well, personally, I think this is absolutely ridiculous because all I smell is my hand lotion. And generally speaking, I've been breathing out and smelling little bits all day long or whatever it may be, and so you get sort of accustomed and used to the smell, and by the time you're like, what? It's like your own farts. You're like, I don't smell anything. What, stinky? Not me. I think this test is ridiculous, but it is an option. The next option is the cup option. Not two girls, one cup. One cup, your stinky breath. What you do, you get a clean glass, put it up to your mouth, breathe, and smell. Sort of like the hand trick, but you don't have the odor of your hand, and it definitely captures the breath. But I think this is ridiculous as well, because you're out, you're about to go on a date, you don't have a clean glass handy. Effective, yes. Practical, no. The next option is the wrist lick. That's right. All you do, you take your wrist and lick it. Try and get as far back on your tongue as possible and lick your wrist. Blow dry for about 5 seconds and sample. This works. But here's the deal. If you have body lotion on, if you have, say your breath does stink, now your wrist is going to stink like your breath. And you're going to go to put your arm around some chick or some dude and they're going to be like, what the, who died? You're like, no baby, that's my wrist. I was checking my breath. And the last option, a paper towel or napkin. Now, most of us have a paper towel or napkin, not paper towels, but napkins in our car, in our glove compartment for whatever. Anyway, you pull one out. You, as far back on your tongue as possible, drag it across your tongue. Now, the towel is a little bit wet from your saliva, so let it dry for about a minute. Then smell. Once you're done, dispose of it properly. Don't use a tissue, because if you put a tissue on your tongue, you're going to be like... So we know what causes bad breath, how to check for bad breath. Now we got to talk about how to prevent bad breath. To ensure that your mouth stays as clean as possible, it is important to go to the dentist at least 2 times a year. They're going to give you a really thorough cleaning, scrape away any plaque that might have built up over the course of the past 6 months. 2 times a year. In between, it's crucial that you brush your teeth and floss. Every day, a few times a day. Some people are a little bit obsessive, and after every meal they've got a toothbrush with them somewhere. They go into the bathroom, brush their teeth, brush their tongue. Did I just say brush your tongue? Yes! It is important and crucial every day when you're brushing your teeth to brush your tongue. True or false? The majority of the odor-causing bacteria that resides in your mouth is located on the very back of your tongue. The answer is true. Now, you can either use a tongue scraper that looks like this. You stick your tongue out as far as possible, you lay the little metal horseshoe on the back of your tongue and drag it forward, and it scrapes off bacteria, dead taste bud cells, and all sorts of funky, fun stuff. Or you can use a toothbrush. After you're done brushing your teeth, stick your tongue out as far as possible and brush your tongue, paying extra close attention to the very back. Okay, now, the issue with this is it's not real comfortable, and chances are every time you do this, you're going to gag. Well, some of you aren't going to gag because your gag reflexes, but for the majority of us, you're going to gag. Another important factor for having forever fresh breath is keeping your mouth moisturized. Drinking lots of water. This not only improves and increases saliva production, it also helps wash away bacteria and excess food. Another thing that you can do to increase saliva production is to chew gum, but you've got to choose your gum carefully. You don't want to use and chew gum that actually has real sugar in it. This is not real great for your teeth. Instead, choose a gum that is sweetened with something called xylitol. For instance, Trident is sweetened with xylitol. It not only helps improve and increase saliva production, it actually, the xylitol, fights bad bacteria, the odor-causing kind, and is actually good for your teeth. And if you've done all of this and your breath still smells like a dead possum, it might be time to go see your doctor, because you could have something else going on internally and need to get that checked out. Fresh breath. It's important. You don't think so? You probably haven't kissed anybody in a while. There might be a reason for that. Every time you go in to talk to somebody, they're backing up. That's not a good sign. Chances are your breath stinks. Everybody knows. I think back to my shop teacher. I'm not going to mention his name. My shop teacher in high school. When I think of him, I think of the most god-awful breath possible. He'd come over, lean over at your desk and talk to you, and you were like holding your breath, and you're like, yes, no. And you're trying not to breathe because his breath stunk so bad. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that everybody thinks, wow, his breath is so fresh. It's like the morning dew. I want you to get everything out of life. I want people not only to want to kiss you, but to want to talk to you and be close to you. Have a great day. I'm Aaron Marino, and thank you for watching.